Kevin Duska, Primer Gang. What the hell is happening to Canada on this episode 1 of Ordinary Canadian? Mark Carney did an interview with CBC's Adrien Arsenault today, and there's one detail in it that I can't stop thinking about. Carney said that when he met Trump privately at their bilateral in Washington, the first question Trump asked him was about Iran. Not about tariffs, not about the auto sector, not about the border, not about the 51st state stuff, not about Alberta. The first question Trump asked the Canadian Prime Minister was, what do you think I should do about Iran? Carney did not say what he told Trump. He was careful about that, but he did confirm that Canada was not consulted before the war started. He said the U.S. didn't inform Ottawa before bombs started falling on February 28th. So the sequence is the United States launches a war that restructures global energy markets, with Canada as a major player in it, and it drives jet fuel prices to $4 a gallon, sends oil to over $100 a barrel, and triggers an economic shock that hits Canadian households directly. Canada finds out in the news, and then weeks later, when Carney finally sits down with Trump, the president's opening question is, what do you think? Sit with that, because it describes something fundamental about the Canadian-U.S. relationship right now. Canada is close enough to be asked for advice, but not close enough to be consulted before the decision. That's not a partnership. That's what looks like Washington thinks is a patron-client relationship, where the client finds out what the patrons decided and is then to comment on it afterwards. Carney's answer in the CBC interview was careful and diplomatic. He said Canada has to, quote, be humble about the scale of the role, end quote. He said Canada is not a superpower, correct. He said where Canada can play a constructive role, it should. That's all true. It's also part of a description that's been basically of a country that's been structurally sidelined from the decisions that affects it the most. Here's the Canada-Iran connection that gets no coverage domestically. 57 Canadians died on flight PS 752 in January 2020 that was shot down by the RGC. Canada's had no diplomatic presence in Iran since 2012, and Canada's had autonomous sanctions on Iran for 15 years, and 61% of Canadians, according to an Ipsos poll from March, disapprove of the U.S. strikes on Iran. So we're living in a country with deep personal connections to the consequences of Iranian state violence, a long-standing sanction posture, but no ability to directly engage Tehran, and a public overwhelmingly opposing the war it was insulting about, that is also growing increasingly skeptical about Israel. And the first question the U.S. president asked our PM was, what do you think I should do? Carney is now offering to help clear mines from Hormuz. Once there's a durable ceasefire, he's offering mine sweeping capabilities as a way back into the conversation. That's basically a move of us trying to buy relevance at a table we weren't invited to sit at. Episode 1 of Ordinary Canadian, because this is what is happening to Canada, to ordinary Canadians. And it matters, and we don't yet know how.